Hey y'all, so I'm gonna make a dish that I've made before. I have used this recipe, but I have made it my own. This is a soup, and I'm using codfish as the meat and some shrimp, which I could be fancy and call prawns. And these are my seasonings. It's gonna have a coconut milk base, and I also have some chicken bone broth. You can definitely use seafood broth as well. I don't have any. Our seasonings are salt, black pepper, paprika, and red curry powder. And also we have a squeeze of lemon juice, which the codfish is soaking in. I have codfish and the prawns are soaking in um, a half of a lemon, um, garlic, minced garlic, and salt and pepper. I'm just letting that sit there and marinate. First thing we're gonna do, which I already done, is heat up some oil. I have olive oil in this pan. I'm gonna saute all the veggies, which are onions, one whole red pepper, one whole yellow pepper, three green scallions, and a small bag of carrots, which I've just sliced the big ones. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in the pan with the hot oil, and I'm going to season this with salt, pepper, and paprika. We're going to cook these down. This is a simple dish. It's fast, it's easy, and it's really good. So in my pot, I have sauteing the onions, the green onions, all of the bell pepper, the red and the yellow bell pepper, and I have put on top some paprika and black pepper and salt. I'm just gonna let this cook down. It's gonna cook all the way down. It's gonna have a pretty color as well from the paprika. Just gonna let it cook down. And then once it gets cooked down, I will add the carrots. I don't want to overcrowd the pot. So the carrots will be added in maybe about halfway through. I'm gonna add the carrots and I'll come back when I add my carrots. So I'm adding the carrots in. Our veggies are almost translucent. I'm adding the carrots, and we're gonna skip those in here. And this is something that I added to the recipe. This was not in the original recipe. It's something that I added, which was carrots. It adds a bit of sweetness to our soup. I'm gonna let those cook and get almost done, and then I'm just gonna say this is a one-pot meal. Everything goes in this one pot. And you see the color, isn't it pretty? That is so pretty. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I know I don't use exact recipes, but I put about a tablespoon and a half of paprika. And I don't use measurements because I taste everything. I just add a little more salt and a little more pepper. I just taste it as I go. So I'm so sorry about that, but I use about a tablespoon and a half paprika. I use maybe half tablespoon of salt, and maybe a half teaspoon of pepper. And so now that the veggies are soft, the carrots are getting soft, I'm going to add the fish to the top of this. And we're just going to add it to the top, like so. And like I said, it's been soaking in lemon juice. You can use lime juice. You don't have to use codfish. You can use halibut. Just a really, you can use a really tough fish. Or like a salad. Not, you don't want to use tilapia or flounder. So we're going to add the codfish to the pan, like so. And I am not going to add the shrimp now because they will cook too fast. I will add those in a little bit. So I'm adding the fish. I'm going to add the bone broth. And this is a 32-ounce container of bone broth. And we will eat this over white rice. And I cook my white rice in garlic, minced garlic, water, and a little bit of salt and olive oil. So I did double this recipe. I will use the whole container of bone broth. And I'm also going to add the coconut milk. This is so simple, guys. I'm going to cover this for about 5 minutes. Let it come up to a boil. Then turn it down low. And then I will add my shrimp. But I will be back. I'm going to mix it a little. And the red you see coming up is paprika. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So, oh, I'm also going to add the curry, the red curry powder to it now. So the seasons can get incorporated. And I guess I'm adding about a tablespoon and a half of red curry powder. So if you wanted to cook this for a smaller group of people, I would say do a half of red pepper, a half of a yellow bell pepper, a half of an onion. This was 5 pieces of codfish that I cut in half. So I would do maybe 2.5 pieces of codfish, 1 can of coconut milk, and probably what's half of 32? 18?
16.
No, 16.
16.
No.
16.
Is it 16?
16.
Yeah, 16 ounces of chicken bone broth or seafood broth, whichever you like. So I'm gonna add my top and let that come up to a boil. Okay, you see it's just coming up to a boil. And I haven't tasted it yet because the fish was raw. But I don't know if you see the fish. So it's getting there. And it's starting to flake. It's almost done. And that was literally maybe 10 minutes. I mean, it just started coming up to a boil. So I'm going to go ahead and add the fish. I mean, the shrimp to the fish. And I'm adding all of the lemon juice with it. And last time I made this dish, I didn't do rice. I did potatoes. So you can totally do potatoes with this, and it was really good. And we're gonna let this cook. I'm gonna add a bit more salt to this. And I'm gonna let it cook maybe about 10 more minutes, and we should be done. I'm gonna let it cook uncovered, so it can condense down a little bit. And I'll come back with a plated dish and let you guys see the outcome. Okay. The rice is amazing, especially with the olive oil. It just makes it so soft. And I make the perfect rice. I have to give you a recipe how to make. It's perfect. It's so simple. Well, I tell you what I did. I put the water in, the rice in, and I bring it up to a boil. And I just cut the eye off and let the rice just sit in the hot water. I don't even do the simmer method. I just cut it completely off. And it makes the rice perfect every single time. So that's the rice. The soup is complete. It didn't even take 10 minutes. It literally took like 5 minutes for the shrimp to get done because I had cut the shrimp in half because I made such a big pot of soup and I didn't have that many shrimp. So I cut them in half so they cooked fast. So this is the soup. And we like a lot of broth. You don't have to use as much chicken broth or as much coconut milk if you're more of a meat person, but we like the broth. Those are the carrots. Naya said she didn't know they were purple carrots, so she learned something new today. Purple carrots, orange carrots, white carrots, yellow carrots, parsnips is what they call them. And so the finished bowl, I'm so excited for you guys to see. This is the finished plate. That's it. And I've already tasted it. It's amazing. It's so good. So there's the rice right there. And then I have the broth. And then we have the codfish on top. And I just fancied it with paprika and some dried parsley. And just some paprika. And I would do a taste test for you, but not today. And that's it. Hope you guys try it, enjoy it, and let me know how you like it. All right. Thanks, guys.